Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpents. If you do enjoy the videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Serpents, the SEC seemingly fears Ripple's gigantic win in the Xrp suit and takes shot at firms supporting Ripple. Hang on a minute here. Wait. What? I don't know who runs that office, what they were thinking when they initially thought about going after Ripple, but how did they not see the potential repercussions of going after Ripple? First of all, it has the #1 community in the crypto space. Anybody who wants to argue that point, there is no top 100 crypto that against a $1 billion lawsuit would still be in the top 6, period. It's just how it is, right? Now, the SEC seemingly fears Ripple's gigantic win. Well, you gotta hand over that stuff. You gotta hand over those documents. It is what it is. I mean, they have tried for a year and a half to delay it. It's now time to hand them over. And then to say that they're taking shots at firms supporting Ripple. Well, the entire world is supporting Ripple, apart from the SEC and a few Ripple haters out there, which they're only haters for the time being because they just simply don't understand what Ripple or XRP are. Now, if you're going to spend your next couple of days learning about Ripple, learning about XRP, if it's your first time, maybe your friend told you yesterday about XRP and now you want to upskill yourself, learn more about it, the best place to start is on their website. Then go through and understand their on-demand liquidity product, the XRPO ledger, everything about this particular organization and its blockchain. That's probably where I would start if I was you. Now, in terms of the SEC objectives to firming aiding Ripple's defense, last week, Philippines headquartered cross-border payments company Xrp requested to participate as an Amicus curiae in the SEC versus Ripple case that is nearing the 2-year mark. Xrp noted it has vested interest in the outcome of the suit because it relies on Ripple's on-demand liquidity service, which utilizes the XRP cryptocurrency to facilitate cross-border settlements. The status of friend of the court permits Xrp to aid the court by providing information, expertise, or insight, and the company claims it has deep knowledge of on-demand liquidity and hopes to assist the court's evaluation of the SEC's assertions. I don't know about you, Serpents, but I am really starting to get excited because we're not too far away from November. And you know what? The judge might do us an early Christmas present. She might just be like, you know what? I'm tired of this. The world is tired of this. There is no other country apart from the United States that thinks that this XRP blockchain is a security. Let's just call it a day. Settlement or a win for Ripple. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. What do you think? Put it in the comments. When realistically do you see, based on your research, when do you see this taking place? I'm very, very curious to know. Now, Ripple's lawyers have been going savage mode. I mean, have a listen to this. If the SEC cannot evaluate the veracity of such claims, then it had no business bringing this litigation in the first place. Whew. Oh, that is savage. That is savage from the Ripple lawyers. I love it. And you know what? So true. So true. Now, in terms of, how Ripple has been performing over the last week, over the last month, we know how it performed in September. And we'll definitely talk about today, what can we expect over the coming weeks, over the coming months? Is it October instead of October, right? Are we going to be going up? Are we going to see more movement? Or are we going to have that retrace to 30 cents, which we are still patiently waiting for? Now, it is believed that the next bearish trends may be coming. Now, this is coming from a couple of reasons. There's a lot of world economics is not really doing too well. And there's a lot of pressure out there in the moment on the US dollar. There's a lot of talks about China selling off all its US dollar, bringing further pressure to, the United States and all the countries that, deal with the US dollar. So economically, the world appears that it's not done with this financial, I guess, reset that we are currently going through, this, I guess, bearish trend that the entire world is currently going on. So what does that mean for the crypto world? Well, crypto is one of the most volatile, if not the most volatile market out there that there is. So when the market goes down, let's say the stock market goes down 2%, you'll notice the crypto market goes down 10, 8, 9. It is extremely volatile. Same when it goes up. So in the short term, the world, crypto, could be going into a further bearish trend. I don't believe the bear market is quite over yet because people aren't ready to like people aren't depressed yet. And the end of a bear market is usually when people are completely depressed. They don't even want to hear the word crypto. They are so down. They are just over it. And that generally signals the end of the bear market. So we haven't really hit that stage yet. So can we see further downs before we go up? In my personal opinion, I do believe that we will see one more bearish trend, which will go maybe for about a month or two, and then we will start to go up in general for the overall market. Now, when it comes to XRP and Ripple likelihood of, getting this case settled by November, well, that's very different because Ripple and XRP will go against the market trend because it will be the first in America to have legal clarity. So just be very mindful when I'm talking about the market and when I'm talking about Ripple, because Ripple and the market will separate from each other when it comes to trends. So, will XRP thrive or dive if the SEC wins a suit over its security status? We often hear lots of content creators across YouTube talk about stupid numbers like 10,000 and 589, and everything seems to point in just bullish news, which can make it seem like we just don't even see the possibility of any other way, right? So, what would happen if the SEC were to win? Let's say against all odds, SEC pulls off a win and Ripple is deemed a security. Well, a couple of things. First of all, Ripple would remove its head office from America and would go towards a country like Japan, potentially, which they have spoken about doing it in the past. Now, in the short term, the price would plummet, but in the long term, being deemed a security is not actually, it wouldn't be the end of the world, put it that way. It would take time, and it would take a lot of time, but eventually you would see Ripple and XRP thrive again. So that is something that we want to talk about. We need to talk about because at the end of the day, while the case is still open, they still have a fighting chance, right? I mean, so we do have to talk about it. But that's what would happen, right? So Ripple would move its head office from America and it would go about its business as a security. Now, will we see the bullish breakout take further charge? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about how the charts have been going and what that can potentially look like, and why patience could be the best thing right now. And it's very, very important to have patience in this game. Now, I want you to take a look at what Brad Garlinghouse had to say in this video. Have a listen.
One of the challenges of the industry has been to focus on solving real problems for real customers. And Ripple, obviously, from its earliest days, focused on the problem around cross-border payments. That's a point of a lot of friction as measured by speed and cost. And by focusing there, we've been able to have a big impact on that, relatively small piece. But I think over the next years, you're going to see many financial transactions where a middleman sits, a middle transaction, an intermediary. Those will get removed, and we'll use blockchain and other digital asset type technologies to remove that friction. And I think all of society will benefit from improving the efficiency of those systems. I think you'll see that. Certainly, you've seen it in securities settlement as an opportunity. The financial transactions around bonds, around derivatives, a lot of these things take a while to settle, and the friction associated actually holds back the industry. Insurance is an industry I think you're going to see touched. Trade finance is an industry that really Ripple, some of our customers have invited us to participate in. And you've seen experimentation around identity in real estate and title management. And these are all examples where I think it's so hard to predict where this will go, in the same way that 25 years ago when I first got involved in the Internet of Information, I never could have predicted on my smartphone I'd press a button and I'd have a car picking me up minutes later. I think this will permeate lots of different parts of our society.
I think it's really, really interesting what he says and the way that he talks about it. And yes, there will be many, many things which will change as we move forward. But the solution that Ripple provides out there for the world, it solves about $155 trillion worth of problems, right? So it is a big scope. It's going to take time. It will take time. But for those that are patient and see the bigger picture, the rewards are there. Well, the potential rewards are there, right? So at the end of the day, it's not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor, but I just want to point out to you the big mission that this company is on. Now, I've spoken in the short term that I do see a retrace into the 30 cents area. If you didn't see yesterday's video, or the day before actually, check it out because I do talk about that there as well. But I do believe that we will see a retrace before we do continue to move the momentum. The other option is that we could be going all the way towards $1, $1.20, and then have a retrace before we continue to bounce up. Although I do see at the moment the potential going to 30 before we go to $1.20, very, very likely. So this is something that it would look like. It would look something like this, where we would, start towards a little downtrend before we continue to go up. Overall, for the long term, as a long-term investor, nothing to worry about. But fundamentally, at the moment, it does look like that we will be going over into this sort of pattern before we continue to move and start to really, really make moves towards the upside. So expect something along these lines. Now, if it doesn't happen and we shoot off into the distance, fantastic, great. My best advice is always to dollar cost average in, because if you dollar cost average in, then you're not having so much to worry about getting the best possible entry point, right? Every month on a particular day, you put in X amount of money. Now, only put in what you can afford to lose. Remember that it's risky, very, very risky. Something that I am looking at though is that 56 cents to 60 cents mark. If we do go above it and consolidate above it, then we could potentially be seeing a move towards 80 cents happen very, very quickly. However, when you look at this line, when you look at the break that has happened after many, 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 many months and years, we are almost getting those rockets ready to fly. But I do believe we're going to retrace a little bit before we start to go up. Now, if you did learn something new today, then don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. As always, thank you. Look forward to see you on the next one.